Yes, it is February. I cannot believe it. And it's also one of the shortest months of the year. So let's just find out what I plan to read this month, this short month. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Nakia. Welcome to my channel. So yes, as I said in the intro, we are here to talk about all the books that I plan to read in the month of February. I don't know why I say all like it's a lot. You know it's a handful. But anyway, and I know I said I wasn't going to be doing TBRs like that. We'll see. I said I wasn't sure. And I said I may do seasonal ones as well. So don't. But for February, I do have books that I plan to read. And as I've said before, because I get the majority of my books from the library, I do plan ahead. And right now I'm still in the wintry season. So I had to look for books that were going to keep me in this spirit. So anyway, let's just get on into these books, shall we? All right, first up, we have one that I have right here. I have 2 physical copies, and then I have 2 that will be on my Kindle because they are new releases. But let's start with one that I have right here. All right, first up, I am finally getting to this book. I feel like it took me forever. It just came out in 2022, but I still feel late. And as I said before, I am working off of my 23 books to read in 2022 list. If you have not seen it, I will put it here. And I am also working off of my most anticipated releases for the first half of 2023. So this one comes from my 23 books to read in 2023 video. I hope I got it right. But it is the sequel to Amari and the Night Brothers. So I'm speaking of course, Amari and the Great Game. And if you don't know, you should know by now, but Amari and the Night Brothers was one of my best books of 2022. I will also link that video here in case you haven't seen that. But yes, it is a middle grade fantasy book, and we follow this young lady, of course, named Amari. And in book 1, she gets invited to the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs, and she goes there in search of her brother who went missing because she thinks there's a link to him at this place because she finds an invitation in her brother's room. So it is a magical school. It is a magical world. We found out all these things. There's supernatural people and creatures walking amongst us. I love all of that. So of course, things happen in book 1, which I cannot discuss, but we are continuing with her in book 2, and I cannot wait to see what's going to happen. I think this one is even longer than the first one, but I read a little bit of a preview and I'm so excited. I can't wait to get to this finally in February. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, this little short video is causing me so many problems. You will probably be able to tell that I have all kind of lighting going on. I'm probably in a different spot. I tried to sit in the same space, but anyway, for some reason, the clip for this book just did not have sound. I'm having issues with my microphone, so I'm refilming this. So excuse all the different lighting and all of that. I hope to have this together by the next video. But anyway, the next book I want to talk about is also one that was on my list of 23 books to read in 2023 video. And this is part of me getting more into my detective thriller books time of year. Time in my book reading life. So this one is The Fourth Monkey by J.D. Barker. Now, I'm not sure how I found out about this one, but I'm intrigued, obviously. On the inside, it says, 7 meets The Silence of the Lambs in this dark and twisting novel. Now, I love 7, if you don't know. Silence of the Lambs, I used to love in my younger days, but now I'm older. That's too much for me, but I'm hoping this is not too much. I checked out the content warning, so I know there's nothing in here that's too disturbing for me, but we'll see. So in this one, we are following a detective named Sam Porter. He is in the city of Chicago, and there is a serial killer on the loose called the 4-Monkey Killer, and he has been terrorizing the city for over 5 years. And when we pick up with this story, Sam is called to the scene of a crime where there was a pedestrian who was hit by a bus and the pedestrian was killed. When he checks out the scene, he finds a journal on the body of the victim, and inside this journal, there appear to be clues that could lead to the capture of this serial killer. So he is on the hunt. And if you don't know, I love following a detective when they are searching for a serial killer. I just love the whole piecing together pieces of a puzzle, the mystery, all that good stuff. This all started with me reading the Nadine Matheson Inspector Henley series. I just really got into them last year, and I just wanted to keep that train going. So hopefully I enjoy this one just as much. I read a little bit of the sample and I enjoy the writing. The chapters are short, which means I will probably fly through this. It's like 400 pages, but short chapters I always fly through. So stay tuned. Hopefully I get through it and it's not a DNF. I'm sorry if I moved, if the lighting's different, my battery is dying. I tried to charge a little bit so I can keep going, and I don't know if it's gonna make it, but I'm gonna try. Anyway, my next book is The Second Stranger by Martin Griffin. Now, I talked about this one in my most anticipated books for 2023 video, and also in my judging January new releases video, which I just posted. But this one is one that I just could not wait for. I read a little bit of a sample, and luckily the writing was good, so I was like, oh, we are reading it in February because it takes place with snowy, isolated setting. I'm still in the mood, so here we are. Now, in this one, we are following a young lady named Remy York who is working at the McKinnon Hotel in the Scottish Highlands, and this is going to be her last shift at the hotel. Of course, we will have to find out why. A snowstorm hits, and an officer shows up and says that there was a terrible accident on the road and only 2 people survived, him and the prisoner that he was transporting. But then another man shows up and said that he is the same cop with the same name. So she has to figure out which one of them is the cop and which one is the prisoner before one of them tries to kill her or something like that. I could not wait for this one when I read about it. So I hope it is good. As I said, we got the snowy, isolated setting. I love the trying to figure out who's who. It kind of reminds me of No Exit. So hopefully it is good. If any of you have read it, let me know. But like I said, can't wait. And last but certainly not least, we have another one that I could not wait for. Also on my most anticipated books of 2023 list. And this one is Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. I also read the first line of this or 2 in my judging January new releases video, and I was already sold. But this one, we are following a man named Ernest Cunningham. And as the book said, everyone in his family has killed someone. And we know that he is on a ski trip that went horribly wrong. This is a murder mystery. Is being compared to Knives Out and Clue and Agatha Christie and all those things that I get irritated by, but I hope it's right in this case. I also listened to some of the audiobook, and it is so good, so I cannot wait to do this in tandem with the audiobook. This one and The Second Stranger are both going to be on my Kindle because they're new releases. So again, I cannot wait to snuggle up with all these books. Yes! All right, I made it. Woo, let's get to the end and wrap this up. So that concludes all the books that I plan to read in the month of February. Mostly thrillers, except the one middle grade fantasy. But like I said in my channel and reading goals video, I will be reading a lot more thrillers this year. So I'm looking forward to all of these. I hope no DNFs, fingers crossed. So yes, let me know in the comments what you plan to read in the month of February. If you'll be reading any of these books, I am curious to know. And if you don't have a comment, but you just want to let me know that you made it this far in the video, but even if you do have a comment, you want to let me know you made it this far in the video, or you just want to show me some love, you can leave me a snow emoji because we are still in the cold, wintry feelings this month. Snowman, snow, one of those. And as always, ways you can support my channel will be linked below. All these books will be linked below, and you can always donate to me on Ko-fi, especially towards new ebooks. I don't get no money from YouTube, so any little bit helps. It always goes towards things for the channel. And like I said, I plan to read a lot of new releases this year, so some coins are always helpful. I appreciate anything that you do. And that about wraps it up, my beautiful people. So until next time, snuggle up in your hideaway with a good book, unplug as much as possible, be kind to all kind, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.